So, a few years ago, I showcased all of my miniatures. And I want to do that again since I have more armies now. And we're going to do it in alphabetical order, starting with Chaos. Now, if you watch Solar Hammer, you'll know that my Chaos army is all Death Guard. Traditionally, back in 3rd edition and 2nd edition, this wouldn't really be the case. You would build an army with like multiple types of chaotic units into it. But today we'll be going through my army and just going to have it. Also, this list will not include the mini Dread because I said he is tiny and I want actual like Hellbrute type thing. So yeah, he's not going to be here. Now in this I'm not going to go over all the special rules, but I'm going to go over what they can do, what they are known for, and just have fun. Just show off the army. The first model we're going to be looking at is going to be the Chaos Lord, which is the Lord of Plagues model. One that I've had for a very long time, and it's the first Chaos miniature I probably painted. Chaos Lord comes out to be 60 points, which is pretty good for a fairly low cost value thing, but you can basically jack him up with a bunch of upgrades. He's got weapon skill and blitz skill 5, toughness, strength and toughness 4, 3 wounds, which is good for any like leader. You want to have a lot of wounds. Initiative 5, 3 attacks, leadership 10, which is always good, and 3+ save. When you give him all the buffs, this thing becomes a walking monster. He can basically use anything in the armory for chaos. I usually try to give him a plague weapon. But most importantly, you give marks of chaos to your lords. And for this one, you just give him a marker Nurgle. You can also pay 10 points to make him a sorcerer, so you can start throwing out that psychic bullshit. He can become a demon prince. If you want to pay the points to make him into a demon prince. So if I want to, I could literally have a demon prince walking on the table. He can also be followed by a retinue of like 10, like depending on which chaos god. Like with Nurgle, he can have like 5 plague marines following him, or just chaos space marines in general. But yeah, I like this model. I think it's cool and really gritty. I like the swampy look I did with him. You're going to see that swamp style in the majority of my Nurgle models. Alright, on to the next ones. My most recent acquisition are these Chaos Space Marines that I've done up in Black Legionnaire colors. Nice poppy black on gold, gold on black with red. Really nice looking. They're 14 points a pop, with the weapon skill, blitz skill, strength, and toughness all being 4. 1 wound, initiative 4, 1 attack, leadership 9, and 3+ save. Really good Space Marines. They have like more leadership because they're like veterans of the Long War. They can have close combat weapons and bolt guns. They also have the options of having last cannons, missile launchers, autocannons, heavy bolters, crack and frag grenades. So you can upgrade them to have a whole bunch of stuff, whatever you need. You can also give them the marks of chaos, and depending on which mark of chaos you give them, like the Lord, you'll actually kind of upgrade them to whatever they would be. So if I gave these all marks of Nurgle, they would then all become Plague Marines. They can also upgrade to have a champion. So if you want to just have one character that has like 1 attack, leadership 10, and just kick ass more harder, that's what you do. They can also have a Rhino transport for 50 points. So if you get these guys into a unit, send them down in Rhino, they'll just wreak havoc. They're great. Alright. Next are my Death Guard, my Plague Marines. So in 3.5 or whatever book I'm using, which hasn't come in yet, Chaos Space Marines with a mark become that Chaos Gods variant. So these are Chaos Space Marines given the mark of Chaos of Nurgle. So they get a lot of fun stats. So their weapon skill, blitz skill, and strength are all the same as 4, but their toughness becomes 5, which makes them really hard to hit. 1 wound, 4 initiative, 1 attack, leadership 9, step safe. This is basically the same thing as a Space Marine. Even the same points value, except you're upgrading them. So They all will have. I know they all have different things right now, but they all typically have bolt guns or bolt pistols. And they can have heavy variants. So it's just they're basically something. They can even have champions. So I've got champion of Nurgle right there. And they can include transport as well. They're basically just vamped up chaos space marines, which is cool. But yeah, they also have, since they can use stuff from the Book of Nurgle, they can basically just bring in like the most disgusting stuff to just throw at the enemies. So they're fabulous to mess people with. The next unit I have are my Plaguebearers, my Demons of Nurgle, which cannot be brought in on turn 1. They have to be summoned in. So the next time you're playing them in 3rd edition, yeah, summon them. Alright, so they've got 16 points a pop, and these guys are worth every 16 points because, wow, these guys are tough. Weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 0, they're not shooting. They're gonna come in and beat stuff up. Strength 4, toughness 5, demons. 1 wound, 4 initiative, 2 attacks, which is lovely when they charge. Leadership 8, and they don't have a save. They have a 7-up invulnerable save because they're demons. They're not made of the same stuff as you and me. But like I said, they are summoned, so on the 2nd turn you roll a dice, and depending on what you roll, you get to bring them in. If you don't, you get to wait in reserve. They have that invulnerable stat because they're demons, so they get a 5+ save. They're also unstable. Or instability. They have instability because they're not really supposed to be in our realm of reality. So there's sometimes if they fail a leadership test, they can just fizzle back into the chaotic warp, which is fun and thematic. They also have the plague weapons, which hit like a tank. These things are terrifying. I dropped them onto one of my friends' backline. It was great. Didn't see it coming. Alrighty. Alright, lastly, Popor Nurgles ADHD ADD Childs. Nurglings have 10 points base, weapon skill 3, bliss skill 0. They're not shooting nothing. Toughness and strength 3, fine. 3 wounds though, really good for just slogging down other units. Initiative 3, they're not going to be able to fight that much, but they have 3 attack base. Get these things to charge. 4 attack base with 12 of them. Really nice. Leadership 7. 5-up save. Demon save. So that invulnerable save we talked about earlier, they have that too. So they are also weak to template weapons. If you put a template weapon on top of these things like a flamer or a blast, they get like, I believe it's like 2 they lose like 2 wounds from that, which is terrifying if I'm going against someone who's like heavy flamer. They're smaller targets though, so if they're in cover, they get +1 to the cover save, which is really nice because cover can usually use like 4. Cover usually does like 4-up cover depending on where you are, and if you get +1 to that, it's 3-up, and it's hard to kill something with 3-up. They are children of Nurgle, so these things, when they get into combat, they have Nurgle's rot, which means they are going to kill things within like a 3-inch radius just by, farting and laughing. They're mischievous, so they can't hold objectives. You don't want these things to hold your objectives. You want to run them into an enemy unit and just keep that unit away from everything else. They also suffer from instability, so you're not going to be able to, sadly, hold them on for very long if they start losing their leadership. But yeah, these are just fun little models. And that is my entire Space Marine army. Hey, I didn't include you. Get out. It's not too big. I don't even think it's 1,000 points, but it's good enough for Solo Hammer, and that's what counts. I do want more later on. I would love to get some Bloodletters and Corn Berserkers, but for now, this is fine. I love my Chaos Army, and I can't wait to do more. So, thank you for watching. Due to the usual pleasantries, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought of my army. Tell me what you would add to my army. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.